Hello and welcome to Open for Adventure. It's a good time. You guys are not muted, right?
I hope so.
Okay,
I
good.
mean, I muted myself. Same.
Yeah, I was muted, but I don't know if I'm
Happy
muted.
O for A day,
Please.
y'all.
Whoop whoop.
First things first.
I'm a realist.
I just got that. Thank you, Mindy.
I'm sorry.
So to start us off, we're gonna play our new intro. While I murder my players, this is fine. This is fine. We'll be right back. Bye.
Hi, I'm Leona Swift Silver, full-time bard, part-time matchmaker. I was an orphan, so the story goes, found in a stable in Ilvinus by the local lord. Richard Kentigan raised me as part of his family. Well, sort of. I had a happy childhood, filled with songs and parties and everything else that goes with court life. I was content to spend the rest of my life there, perhaps even marry my childhood sweetheart Roman. But, unfortunately, fate had other plans. Lord Kentigan passed suddenly and unexpectedly. I was blamed for his death and no longer welcome in the place I called home. Shortly after, however, I made some new friends. These new friends became like family to me. A grumpy dad, a dear sister, and a kid brother who is very good at magic. We've traveled the country together, making new friends and some enemies along the way. As for me, I still love storytelling and singing love songs and planning my friends' weddings, with or without their knowledge. I'm a firm believer in happily ever afters, and I believe there's one waiting for each and every person I meet. Under the guiding light of Sarenrae, I want to keep my friends safe from whatever may come our way. Personally, all I want out of life is to love and be loved in return, and maybe, one day, find a happily ever after of my own.
Sup, Kesra? Why? Why am I doing this? Fine, okay. I'm Kesra Stormbreaker. You wanna know about me? Here we go. I'm from a shitty little town in the middle of nowhere. I left as soon as possible for a bigger town, and then left that as soon as possible. I had every intention of joining the Imperial Army and having an illustrious military career, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Instead, I joined a mercenary group, and I did that for about, 10 years? Went a lot of places, saw a lot of things, broke a lot of faces, and then I made the biggest mistake of my life. We don't have to go there. Instead, we'll talk about the second biggest mistake of my life, joining these idiots. I keep them safe, most of the time, or at least I try. They drive me crazy, all the time. It's great. I don't really have a choice either. Paylor said I had to, or the world was gonna end. I'm that peachy. I like beer, gold, and minding my own damn business. My special talents include blending in and otherwise being completely average. On purpose, usually. What else? I have a horse that talks to me in my brain. Yeah, apparently I'm a paladin or something. It's complicated. Am I done now? No? What else do you want me to say? Okay, fine. Look, I'm not that complicated. As long as I can keep these assholes alive, everything's fine.
Hello, I'm Maldi Dubois. It's a pleasure to meet you. Where to start? Well, I was raised by a kind woman in a traveling circus, where I learned all kinds of tricks, like how to read fortunes and gamble without losing. I eventually ended up in Wolfcrest, working with the Thieves Guild, until a question of morality had me fleeing the city with an orphaned goblin girl by my side. Unfortunately, she didn't make it. I traveled alone for a short while until I met Deirdre, and realized we'd be better off together. We met Leona in Ilverness after she ran into some trouble with her family, and I made a wager against Kesra for her to take us to Asmarin for a wedding. Did I mention I'm not one to lose a bet? While in Asmarin, I was kidnapped by members of the cult of the Dragon Queen, where I struggled between wanting to get rid of the wild, unpredictable powers that had brought me nothing but pain, and possibly learning to control them. But before I could delve deeper into the promise of mastering my curse, my friends found me and intervened on my behalf. It was almost the end of us all, and I left the cult with a sour taste in my mouth. It wasn't long after that I met a mysterious man named Zafaliar, who claimed to know about my birth mother. I also learned that he is an ancient black dragon and a consort of Tiamat herself. Not to mention my father. Unsure if I can trust him, I take what he says with caution. He did save my life when I needed it most, but he is still an ancient black dragon. I'm continuing my quest to learn to control and harness my powers, if I can learn to accept them first.
My name is Deirdre Kelly, and I was born in a small village outside of Faybreach. My parents warned me to stay out of the forest, but even back then I was never very good at listening. That's where I met Ectiarn. When I was 17, a terrible explosion destroyed my home, and nearly destroyed me as well. Ectiarn saved me, taking me to his home in the Feywild. There, he took care of me. He became my protector, my mentor, and my warlock patron. He was also my first love. But I couldn't stay there with him forever. After 10 wonderful years, though only 2 had passed on the material plane, I was forced to flee the home I had come to know and love. I was lost, and I didn't know where to go. I found myself alone on a ship, and that's where I met Maudie. We traveled together for 2 weeks before coming across Leona and Kesra, and the rest is history. Or so I thought. It's never that simple, is it? I didn't quite realize that my patron had made a deal with the Queen of the Fae, staking his immortality on me and my choices. Choices that, I soon realized, had consequences. Despite my best intentions, Ectiarn succumbed to fatal wounds inflicted by the Mad Lich King, leaving me grieving, and without a patron. Enter the Whispered One. The god of secrets found me, and exploited a moment of weakness. The promise of Ectiarn's revival came at a terrible cost, one that I continue to pay, even to this day. Now, I must work to right my wrongs and protect my newfound family against this looming danger, and any other threat that arises.
I'm Camille, and I'm the Dungeon Master. What you need to know is that we are playing 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons in a world of my own creation called Senmaria. We're using the Dawn War Pantheon, with a few special additions. You might recognize some Pathfinder flair, from the Oracle class to the Goddess Sarenrae. And you can find homebrewed monsters, items, and even entire races in this campaign. You might see me play a 5th member of the group, a young paladin named Ray. He met the party at the royal wedding of the first Lord Theo of Asmarin, and traveled with them for quite some time before they discovered he's actually the crowned prince of the Empire, and on a quest to save his endangered family, as the Empire is in the middle of a civil war. Underlying players to this open rebellion are being slowly revealed throughout the game, and the characters are choosing to remain neutral. For now. But these unlikely heroes face a much bigger threat. An insurmountable force threatens the prime material plane, taunting the characters from just beyond their horizon. At the same time, many factions work to their own ends, both for and against the party's personal objectives. The Divine Covenant seeks to protect the Primal Ban, while the Silence claims to root out corruption at its core. The cult of the Dragon Queen aims to raise their goddess from the 9 hells, and the Assembly still remains a mystery. Even the gods on high mean to meddle in the lives of these fated 4, to some unknowable end. These adventurers navigate trials from handling political intrigue to maintaining the balance of the cosmos. not to mention fighting their own personal demons. In a world where nothing is black or white, good or evil, Leona, Kesra, Deirdre, and Maldi must find a way to mark their own paths and claim their own destinies. Welcome. It's open for adventure. And we are almost back. We're back.
Yay!
We're back. We made it. We survived. Isn't our new intro video amazing?
It's marvelous.
So we dropped that last week, and this week I have an equally big announcement to make. Can I get a drum roll, please? Today we are officially releasing our Patreon! So, we here at Open for Adventure are huge nerds, and we decided we have so much extra D&D content that we want to share with you guys. So we figured, why not give you guys the chance to help make this stream even better? I'm going to share a link in the chat right now. It's patreon.com/openforadventure, the letters FOR. And I'm going to go ahead and play our 3-minute Patreon video. And then after that's done, I'll make one more quick announcement about the Patreon. And then we will get started with the game today.
Woo!
Are you guys ready?
Bring it on.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to our Patreon. Here on Open for Adventure, we are making high-quality Dungeons & Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wonder what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Asmrin. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Marshall, Annalena, and even the Empress herself. And Roleplay Addiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Insider Scoop is where things start to get serious. This gives you access to private live streams of me doing plot, setting, and encounter planning for the entire Open for Adventure universe, including the offline game that I run in the same realm. This is me setting up for a big battle, or maybe coming up with some new non-player characters. Here's where you can interact with me directly and possibly influence not only the upcoming streams, but the entire setting as well. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far, and also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. And our undying love. Hence the Warm Fuzzies. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers. Drum roll, please. The Lore Master. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming official Open for adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. So, go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality. And we are back again.
Everybody give the DM a round of applause because that is yet another wonderful video that she did all by herself.
So if you have been paying attention this far, if you become a Patreon in the next 24 hours, you get a set of stickers of all the characters' doodles.
All 4 of them?
All 4 of them. You get all of them. So if you go up, and no matter which, you gotta pick. Wait, you gotta sign up for the roleplay addiction or higher, and you get the stickers, guys, because that's where it's at. If you sign up, if you become a patron, you already will have access to everything we posted so far, which includes 3 IMRP-based roleplay moments, 1 30-minute short between Deirdre and Leona, art by Squirrel Curls, and some lore.
All the above.
All of the above. So
hey man, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay.
You guys. So, yeah, let's play Dungeons and Dragons, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Getting settled in. We laughed, left off. I'm having a stroke. We last left off our characters. They are in Wolfcrest, trying to decide their next move. These characters have seen some ups and some downs recently. Let's see. The most notable thing that happened was they met a elven sorcerer by the name of Adam, who is played by our lovely Austin. And Adam was revealed to be Monty's half-brother. They engaged in a conversation about Cephaliar and magic in general. And today we are actually going to pick up the next morning. So everybody gets the benefits of a long rest.
Thank God.
So, this music is really slow. Hold on. Let's get some more appropriate music. Ha! So, who is the first to wake up?
Probably, if I'm not first, I'm probably early.
Probably me, because I only meditate for 4 hours.
You don't sleep.
Yeah, I don't sleep.
Adab, you, I assume, are staying in the tavern in a spare room or in another room?
Yeah. Alone.
Oh my god, we have our very first lore master, Bel Chavez!
Holy shit, man.
Bel Chavez! Okay, I'm sorry, I got really excited. Okay.
God.
We have the same birthday.
Yes, 626. Okay, Adab, you are downstairs. It is early morning. Not a lot goes on in this tavern in the wee hours of the morning. How would you describe what you're doing during this time when you're awake and no one else is?
I would say that he has a very sparing meal. Probably water or something, but maybe like bread that he's like soaking in the water. And he's just reading through manuscripts, old texts and things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The first person to come down is actually going to be Ray.
Okay.
Ray will come down early before the sun rises. You notice he has a very small meal as well.
Mm-hmm.
and greets you. Do you think you two would sit together or apart?
I think that I would invite him over. It's like I would leave it up to him to see whether he would want to come over or not.
Yeah, I think with an invitation, he definitely would come and sit next to you, kind of make small talk. And then not shortly after that, Leona will come down. You're muted.
Oh, I was okay. I'll scurry down. Sorry. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Leona. How are you?
I slept wonderfully. And I will take a seat.
I'm glad to hear it.
How are you guys this morning?
Very well. As you sit down, Leona, the bartender actually, she's more of the barkeep, comes over. She's a young human. Wait, yeah, you guys are more first. A young human woman, maybe in her early 20s, and she hands over 2 letters and a package to you. Oh, hey, sweetheart. It's Leona, right?
Yes.
You and your friends have some mail that was delivered.
Oh,
early
really?
this morning, yeah. Actually, so it's gonna be, at this point, it's gonna be, one is just straight up a bottle of whiskey with a letter attached to it.
Oh.
Another one is a package that looks very familiar to you, Leona.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yes.
The third is a letter addressed to you, Leona.
Do I recognize the handwriting?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Well, that's exciting. I'm just gonna. Who's the whiskey for?
Kesra.
Do I know who it's from?
Do you want to open it?
Rude.
Oh, is it a card or is it like a?
It's a letter.
Oh. Do I recognize it? Is there anything written on the outside?
It says to Kesra.
Does it look like Alexander's handwriting?
Have you ever seen Alexander's handwriting?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I didn't
It looks
snoop in his house, but
the penmanship is nice. It's very good.
I'm gonna smell it. Does it smell like Alexander?
Make a smell check.
I don't know what I'm supposed to roll, but I rolled an 18 on the die, so
It does smell like what you might imagine Alexander to smell like.
I'll just put it daintily on the table. I'm gonna assume it's from Alexander. I don't even care if it's not. And I will just delicately place dang, that's gonna make things really difficult. It's fine. I'm gonna place the package gently leaning against the whiskey bottle.
Okay. And your letter?
I'm gonna open my letter.
Okay. You open your letter and this is it. It's on just very plain parchment, but it's written in a very swooping, lovely hand. And this is Leona. I hope this letter finds you safe, warm, and happy. I know the life of adventure can be hard on the heart. I remember that much for certain from my younger days. It is my hope that you find some small comfort in knowing that we are here, praying for you, cheering you on from afar. And if you should ever need a place to lay your head or rest your weary limbs, well, you know where to find us. The Temple of Palor has been entirely cleaned. You would have never known it was defaced. You and your friends were so helpful with this. We spent the last few weeks tidying up, and now it's even more beautiful than before. As far as us, we're doing well. Nothing nearly as exciting as what you're seeing, I'm sure, but we prefer it this way. After what we've seen, a quiet life is a good life. Anyway, I won't keep you too long. I keep your song in my heart. Love, the Hallowells.
No. I'll read it 3 more times.
Leona, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
You feel a gentle hand like at your elbow. Are you alright?
Oh, yes. I got this letter from my parents.
That's
Do you want to read it?
If you wish, you may read it to me.
I will read it out loud. I'm very excited about this letter.
Very well. The rest of you begin to filter down. Okay. So,
Kesra.
Yeah?
You got something in the mail. You got a couple of things in the mail. You're very popular today.
Are you sure they're mine?
They say Kesra, so you're the only
Okay.
Kesra I know.
I'm sure there are more.
I mean, maybe.
One looks like a liquor bottle. That has to be for you.
Oh, that's probably, if it's not for me, it is now.
Kessler, would you like to read it?
Oh, you know what? No. I'm going to tuck it. I'm going to tuck it and I'm going to wait.
Okay.
I will open the box though, because I have no fucking idea what's in there.
In the box is a book. This book has a picture of a brilliant sun in the background. In the foreground is two men. One of them is older, wearing full plate mail, sword, shield at his side, and he's kneeling in front of a young boy. And he's got his hand on the boy's shoulder. And they're in a very grassy field, and the text on the front is written in very clear, bold letters like you would see for books aimed at people who are just learning to read. And it says, My Pally and Me. A guide for the young paladin of Palor.
Kesra, what is that?
I'm going to close the box.
Who's it from?
I'm going to pat
Can I
the
see
top
it?
of
It
the
says
box.
it does say in Elven. I hope. What does it say again? I hope this serves you well.
In case you need help.
In case you need help.
So, does it, do we know who sent this,
Does it not have a note?
Oh, there's a note. Is there a,
Come on now, that might be useful.
Is it from who is it from the same person who sent the whiskey?
I'm gonna look at the writing and the writing. Are they even remotely similar? I'm not exactly.
They're actually not. Go ahead and make an intelligence check for me.
Hang on, intelligence check. I mean, that's a 10. It's average.
Could be. They look very fancy.
I mean, it's fancy as it's fancy.
Yeah.
I'm
You gonna read the.
second. I'm gonna take the bottle, and I'm gonna shove the box up under my arm, and I'm going to open the bottle and drink it as I go upstairs with the box and the book.
Hey, where you going with the bottle?
I don't answer. I just keep walking.
Would you like to read the letter once you get upstairs?
Yes, I'm going to close the room. Close the door. I'm going to sit on the bed, and I'm going to read the letter.
So the bottle has no label, but it is a very, very, very good whiskey.
Hell yeah.
You open the letter, and it has a letter written inside of it. Hey there, Dimples.
Fuck.
The bottle attached is a whiskey. I'm not going to tell you how nice it is, as I feel that will color your thoughts on it, and I want you to just enjoy it.
Fair
I would
enough.
suggest not guzzling it, but I leave that decision up to you.
We'll see.
The only thing I ask is that you not pour pour any into that horrid jug Marshall carries around.
All right.
I have started to look into the things you asked me to, but with all of the flitting around I am doing, I have not been able to find much yet.
Okay.
It is interesting reading, though. I did see a dispatch go out about sending some adventurers to find some lost Imperial soldiers, and wondered if it would be you and your merry band or some other sellswords in town.
Nope.
I had forgotten how dull court/government life can be. Endless paperwork and meetings.
Could have told him that.
I'm afraid I can't talk about it much, but then I doubt you would ask.
Nope.
Feel free to make up some court gossip and pass it on to Leona. I am sure you would get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Next time we talk, I will have to teach you a cipher, and then you won't even have to worry about her reading your mail. Hello, Leona.
Wait. Has she read my mail before?
I spend
She-
most... I
Is
spend
that a thing
most...
she does? Go on, sorry.
I spend most nights in Wolfcrest, so should you ever feel lonely, I have made sure that you are able to be let in to see me whenever the hour. Don't lose that scowl. Signed, Blondie.
Well, all right. I'm gonna fold the letter back up, tuck it into back into my coat, because apparently Leona reads shit she's not supposed to. And then going to regard the bottle, labelless. I'll take a sip. Then I'll leave it upstairs with the book. I didn't look at the book again. I'll look at the book again later. I'm mad about it right now. And I'm going to go back downstairs.
Okay. So, what we are about to experience for the first time in this campaign is downtime. Now, I kind of divulged to my players before the session started that I really don't like downtime. So we're going to try to make this as painless as possible, not just for you guys, but for me. Okay. I'm giving you guys exactly 4.5 days of downtime. Let's start. Who wants to go first with their downtime activities? KK. CK. Kesra. Mother bitch.
There's so
Kesra.
many letters.
You go ahead. Tell me what you are going to. Kesra, what are you going to do?
Just to get this out of the way, I will share some of the whiskey with Marshall. I am not
What
rude.
about Ray?
Ray is welcome to have some. It doesn't get poured into the jug, but I will share, Most of it's mine, but I will share. I would like to spend most of my time, unless otherwise requested by other people, I would like to spend most of my time training with the guard of Wolfcrest, doing whatever it is that they're doing.
Okay.
And then maybe once or twice make good on that offer in the letter.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. Very good. Go ahead and roll. I need you to go ahead and make 2 checks for me. Go ahead and make a charisma check.
Okay. I'm a nice person. Well, I am going to roll a 16. That's a 19.
You are able to convince the guards to spar with you.
Hell yeah.
And then make a strength check to see. Make an athletics check to see how well you do.
Okay. That's even better. Hey. 15 plus 7 is 22. Right, Mindy?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. 22.
Certainly. Sure. Why not? It's D&D. Yeah, you do pretty well.
Cool.
Who would like to go second? Marshall?
Yeah, I've only got 2 things, honestly. I would probably test sending a few times to Izzy, just to, hear a voice.
How many times do you cast it?
At least once a day, so 4.
You do not hear. Roll 4 d20s and tell me what each roll is.
4 d20s. That's a 15,
Okay.
a 12, 16, and another 16.
Unfortunately, you do not hear from her.
All right. And then, is there a clinic or a hospital in Wolfcrest?
There are temples.
I will. The only thing I want to do is volunteer my spells and my medical practice to anyone who needs it.
Do you pick any particular temple or just whichever one catches your eye?
Whoever's got the most injured people in it, I'll probably spread it around over the 4 days.
Okay. All right. Make a medicine check for me.
29. I got a 19 plus 10.
Marshall, you can tell me if I'm wrong in this, but in your worry over the fact that you have not heard anything from Izzy, you throw yourself into this volunteer work. And in doing so, you actually catch the attention of many of the high priestesses and priests of a few of the temples. You get a lot of questions about who you follow, what kind of work you do, where they can find you if they need you. There are not a lot of high-level clerics. There are not a lot of clerics as high level as you are. They do exist, but they're few and far between. In particular, the Temple of Avandra. One of the clerics there, a young human woman who's got she's maybe late 20s, with a quick smile and easygoing attitude. She asks you if you'll come back to service for Avandra. If you'll come and sit in on a service with them.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. When you leave the temple, after you've agreed to go to the service, you feel a warmth in your chest. You have one luck point that you may use. For the next 7 days.
I'll say out loud, Tola.
Who'd like to go next? Deirdre?
I would spend probably at least 2 of those days helping out at the Temple of Sarenrae. And then it might not be possible because of the way the city is at the moment, but I would like to try and assemble or find a medical kit if I can. Sorry.
For the medical kit, your help is very much appreciated. You do feel a little useless without you feel very useless without your former abilities. Yeah. But you do know a bit about medicine, and you do know a little bit, about bedside manner and comforting people. Go ahead and make an intelligence check for this medicine kit.
Intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. +3. That is a 15.
Okay. It takes you, roll a d6.
Okay. 6.
Okay. It takes you about 3 days to assemble this medicine kit.
Okay. Perfect. And then kind of the last thing I want to do is I want to find Leona and talk to her.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Leona?
Yeah?
Where are you guys currently?
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
I probably would catch you either. Are you going to the Sarenrae Temple at all?
Oh yeah, I'll probably go for a day or two,
Okay.
but like spotty.
Okay. Probably either at the temple or at the tavern.
Okay.
I know we talked when we were heading up to go rescue those soldiers, but I think I want to get in contact with my mother, and I know you have to know someone in order to contact them, but at the well you saw my mom and you heard my mother, and I was wondering if you think that would be enough.
Well, I don't know. I've never tried it with someone I've never like formally met, but I mean, I don't mind to try.
I would appreciate it.
Before I do this, what would you like me to say?
Ask her if she knows someone named Deirdre. Because she's looking for her.
Anything else?
That's pretty much all I got for now.
Okay.
That's my biggest issue.
Okay. I will try to cast sending to Deirdre's mother.
Roll a d20.
$11.
Okay. What's your message?
Hi. Do you, by chance, know someone by the name Deirdre? She is looking for you. You can respond to this message.
Okay. Please mark off the spell slot. Because it doesn't really matter anymore. Whatever. You wait for moments, minutes. Unfortunately, you do not hear anything back.
Sorry, Deirdre.
No, it's okay. It was a stretch anyway. Thank you for trying.
I can try again.
I wouldn't ask you to do that. It was more for me, really. I want to prepare myself. I imagine we're gonna try and find my mother soon-ish. And I guess I just wanted to get myself ready for whatever reaction was necessary.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to get a hold of her.
Don't worry about it. You tried. That means a lot to me. Thank you. And then aside from that, I'm spending time with Mondi. And I want to look for Kessera to see if she's around.
It's not hard to find her.
Okay. Okay. I think about it, and then I'm like,
This is Kessera. She's been in a mood lately. She seemed really angry about the book. Oh, I recognize that book. Okay.
and I might wander. I'm obviously going to tell people where I'm going, but I would probably wander outside of town and, just.
Okay.
It's snowing. Yeah, it's pretty, and I like the trees. I miss the trees.
Yeah. We'll come back to that. Adab and Mondi.
So I would have asked him if we could have maybe gone somewhere a little outside of town to practice magic, some alone, brotherly time to like he could teach me and things like that. I'd want to have a few. There's conversations we would have, but there are a few things I'd want to touch on in those few days that we're practicing together.
Yeah, Azab would certainly assent to that. Sure. Can we find like a clearing somewhere?
Certainly.
Like an open
Certainly.
grove? Cool.
It's very cold, but you find some clearings north of town.
Nice. I will impart some of what I know. I mean, because Mondi is illusion based, right?
Mostly illusion and some. I'm good with illusions. I'm more. The thing I need help with more is my, I guess, attack, or I'm just not comfortable using them yet. I've never felt comfortable using them. So if you don't mind spending a few days while you're around, just helping me sort of channel that a little more, I would be appreciative.
He will, or I will, agree to that for sure. I think I'm not sure what I can do from like a mechanical standpoint, but from a narrative standpoint, I would basically, I mean, Adhab's entire focus is destruction, acid and fire. That's his wheelhouse. So I think, yeah, so on one of those days, maybe I would say all of this boils down to one thing, which I think you already have a lot of, but ultimately it's passion. Whether that's for your power or for someone or something in the world. Dragons are powerful for one reason. It's because they have a passion for whatever. Money, power, something. We're dragons, or we may as well be. So you have to tap into that.
I mean, that makes sense. The times that when I talk to you and I sort of like gesture towards the dark scales, when these powers start to consume me or scare me, it's usually in a moment of fear or fear of losing people. And I understand what you mean. Like that's, I guess that comes from passion, I assume.
That's all it is. But it's control as well. You and I both know what happens when you let things go awry. I know firsthand. It's not easy. But so I'll set up like, I don't know, like some kind of makeshift target dummy or something in this grove of like, I don't know, wooden leaves or something. Fashion it. Or I could maybe prestidigitate a little illusion on top of something, and I'll show you what's up with the, I don't know, destructive capacity of some of this magic. Yeah. Nothing too crazy, no fireballs, but, you know, a few like chaos bolts and fireballs and stuff like that.
And while you guys are doing this training, is there anything particular you'd like to talk about?
Yes, you mentioned when things go awry. Um, when sorry, there's a passing train. When I met my father for the first time, he he mentioned my mother. Um, he said he had a plan with her when she was pregnant with me that she was supposed to. I don't know the details, but something about Tiamat. To be brief, I was wondering, do you know anything about Tiamat or um, Rune Breakers, the family itself, or
Not the family, I can't say, but Tiamat, certainly. An old deity. One that all dragons are fond of. Well, I say fond if a dragon can really be fond of anything except power and gold, but some hold her in high regard.
yeah? I mean,
I imagine, apologies, but if he had a plan for you, somehow you were involved in some kind of dealings with her, maybe as a catalyst or something. Your birth, if he was that intent saving you, keeping you alive, why do you think he would be such? Because he had a use for you.
use for Tiamat, you think, or
I don't know. It's not within my scope of knowledge. But what I do know is that Cephaliar does not love, and he does not have a heart. Keeping you
So he-
alive was
for
not
himself.
out of paternal instinct. I've experienced this myself in my dealings with him.
What did he want to use you for? Or what use did he have of you, if you don't mind my asking?
Safety. I think us existing, is a method of safekeeping. Keeps his livelihood alive.
So he needs us to stay alive?
Perhaps not to stay alive, but somehow in the great cosmic cycle, his children are important. You among them. Probably chief, I would say. He never saved my life.
There's one more thing I want to ask you about. You say you've adventured a lot and you've searched for artifacts and you look for knowledge and things like that. How much do you know about, or how much have you seen of devils? Or any organizations working with devils?
It's a difficult, very nuanced question. I myself haven't had any dealings with devils. I know of some who have. I know of far more who have and who haven't survived.
Have you heard of, and I just kind of look around for a second, have you heard of an organization called the Assembly before?
Most have, I would imagine. Perhaps we're unique in such a thing.
No worries, I just thought I'd ask. I know you were an adventurer. wanted to see if maybe you'd crossed paths with them before. And start to go back to just training and kind of think about it a little more.
Yeah, you could definitely tell with that last question. I think Adab is very much like he's open. Maybe not open is the right word, but very nonchalant, as though his knowledge is open to consume in some sense. So he just assumes that everybody else is the same way. Yeah, so yeah. I guess that answer was confusing, but yeah.
So, 4.5 days pass since... I'm so sorry. Did I skip you, Mindy? Whatever. Just go ahead.
I mean, I don't want to do a whole lot. I just have a very long list right here, right beside me.
Let's hear it.
I do want to go to the temple and talk to Amy about this oracleness thing that's going on in my life.
Okay, that's an important conversation.
So, yeah. So just looking for a little more information. Should I be scared? What's going on? That kind of conversation. And then I will ask if she has any books that I could read to help me understand, because unlike Kesra, I'm all about outside resources. And I want to find some children, and I want to have a finger puppet show, because everybody's doing stuff and I want to have fun. And there are kids that need a laugh. There's a war. And
so first, let's just get this out of the way. Make a performance check for me.
Okay. Oh, that's not very good. Dirty 20.
It's a pretty good performance. The kids love it. Kids love it.
Great.
So, going back to your conversation with Amy.
Okay.
This is how you start the kind of downtime out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Amy is more than happy to speak with you about being an oracle. So you go and you find her at the Temple of Sarenrae, and she is there. You find her actually cleaning, just tidying up and doing things that the High Priestess of Sarenrae probably would not be expected to do.
Everybody's a servant. I will go and I will try to help.
Oh, Leona, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you. Do you need any help?
Of course, of course.
So as we're cleaning, so I had a question.
Go on.
I have a few questions. I have one main question. So how much do you know about oracles?
Oracles? Mm-hmm. Well, back in my day, they were more common than they are now. I knew many back in the days of the war, but I have only heard of one since being back here, or since being here. She's quite famous, I believe. Andromeda Skyseeker.
Yes, I've heard that name before.
Yes, I believe she works for the Empire, or she works for the Empress herself.
It's hard to tell these days. So, you, the last time we came, you prayed for me, over me, and I don't really know what it means to be an oracle, but that word might have been thrown around.
Did you experience a vision while I was praying over you?
I did.
Leona, Oh, you are so blessed by Sarenrae. That is... I cannot tell you how incredible that is.
Is there any way to, you know...
I'm also incredibly sorry.
Why?
She kind of stops cleaning and she's like sitting on her knees, and you guys are behind a pew. To be an oracle is a great burden. Surely I don't know if you've noticed any new powers, but with any new powers come new
Well,
burdens.
I have noticed that I can do different kinds of magic now. But I've really only seen one thing. Isn't that what oracles do? They see things?
Yes, oracles are... Sometimes they are born, sometimes they are chosen. Sometimes it is both. However, yes, they see things. Each oracle is different, keep in mind. And I've only known a few, and it's been thousands of years since they were here. But with each oracle's... How do I explain this? Essentially, as you go about your duty to, whoever it is that you are serving, I'm assuming, Sarenrae, you will be gifted with incredible powers and incredible visions of the future and the present and even the past. But they come at a cost. To be an oracle is to tap into a power that is beyond mortality, and it's like a light that shines twice as bright, only burns half as long. For example, I don't know if you know much about her, but the Oracle Andromeda Skyseeker loses parts of her body when she forces visions. I've seen an illustration of her that she only actually has one arm, and her other arm is constructed. Now, I'm not saying this to frighten you. She is very old. She's probably a couple 100 years old, I think. Maybe 150, perhaps?
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm frightening you. I'm just saying...
So, that's only if you force visions, right? What if I just let them come to me?
If you let them come to you, then... Well, I can't say for sure because I'm not an oracle. But I know that the less you try to pull upon your powers, the safer you'll be. I'm so sorry, I've worried you.
No, you've just given me a lot to think about. Yes, there's a little bit of worry, but mostly just thinking.
Sarenrae will be by your side always. Do not forget that. And so will I.
Do you have any books?
Books? I have plenty of books.
Can I have a book? I'll bring it back. I'll take very good care of it.
On what?
On this.
Oh, on oracles? Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry, I don't have any myself.
Can you write one? Very quickly.
Can I write one?
I'm just joking, sort of.
Well, you know what they say about writers, those who can't do, right? No, I'm only teasing. No.
Never had that one before.
So, I recommend you go to the Temple of Ioun. They have a library, a reserve of knowledge. Maybe you can find something there. And if you're ever in Raishar, they have the largest collection of information and records in existence in Raishar.
Taking lots of notes. Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Thank you.
Very well. I hope that the things that you see bring you, I hope that the visions that you get help you to help this world be a better place.
Me too. Do you need any help finishing cleaning?
Oh, certainly. Thank you.
And we will clean. I will go to the Ioun Temple now.
Okay.
Now that I have that And I will try to find some books on oracleness.
Okay, make an investigation check.
19.
You find. You find. Can you repeat that number to me?
19?
Yeah. You find 2 books. You find one book on famous oracles, and you find another book on essentially kind of like a brief history of prophecies and reported visions of oracles.
Okay. Cool. I only want to do 2 other things. One, at some point when I am by myself, because everybody's off running around doing all kinds of crazy stuff, I would like to read one of the letters that I took.
Okay. Roll a d4.
1.
Okay. You pick a letter at random, and it is from Roman to Annalena. And I did not write it out, so I will give you the gist. In it, he proclaims his love for her, how she is essentially the love of his life, and how he would absolutely do anything to make their dream of getting married become a reality. He says not to worry about her mother, not to worry about Oreo, because together they can work through anything.
I'm gonna fold it back up, put it back with the other letters, and I think one letter is okay for right now.
Very good.
At some point, I will also, after, I don't know when Deirdre and I talked, but I will try to cast Sending again.
Unfortunately, to her mother.
Mm-hmm.
It does not work.
Okay.
Deirdre, you are walking out, hands in your pockets, kicking up snow along the paths. There is essentially the Wolfcrest is known for its hunters and for people who love the outdoors. So you're not alone out here. There's every once in a while you do see like a passerby or a hunter coming in from a hall, or caravans going by. As you kind of slip a little bit further into the woods, it's kind of almost reminiscent of your childhood, of sneaking off into the forest. And I would say you'd been out for about 2 hours at this point when you hear wing beats.
How close in are the trees?
They range from about 10 to 20 feet apart.
Okay. I'm just going to find the biggest one I can and get underneath the branches.
Okay. These wing beats get louder and closer. And then you hear a loud, heavy thud right behind you on the other side of the tree.
I straighten and I look past the tree.
You look to see what it is?
Yep.
On the other side of the tree, you see a large figure. This figure is pure white. Long legs, massive white wings, a Pegasus. And not just any Pegasus. It is the Pegasus that you delivered in the Feywild. This is Larisine.
I just immediately start bawling, and I run up and hug her and apologize and cry, and I'm petting her. How did you even get here?
It's at that point that you run up and you realize she's not alone. She has a rider.
I look past.
This rider dismounts. You take a good look, and it's very clearly male.
Okay.
He stands tall, probably about 6'5", maybe 6'6" even, and he has long blonde hair that's pulled back into a ponytail.
Okay.
Very sharp features. He's wearing studded leather armor. He has a bow slung across his back. He looks at you as though he has known you. He looks at you like you're familiar to him almost. You can tell his celestial heritage calls out to you. He's an Aasimar.
Okay.
He dismounts and he says, I'm assuming you're Deirdre.
I'm petting Larisine's nose.
Yes, and you are...
Sentinel. Larisine. I found Larisine in the Wildwoods. She was taken by some cultists, and I liberated her.
Thank you. I don't even know how she got out.
You hear a gentle voice in your head. We will all cast out.
I will respond. I wondered what had happened.
She told me that she was looking for someone, and I thought I would help her.
Thank you for bringing her to me. She's very precious.
She is. She also told me a little bit about you.
Good things, I hope. None of our misadventures.
He kind of scratches the back of his head.
You must be tired. Do you want to come into the city?
He kind of looks at Larisine. I don't know if it'd be a good idea to bring her into the city.
That's true.
Eyeing the wings.
Yeah, that's probably best. Well...
Sure.
Okay.
I will turn to Larisine and I will say,
make sure you're hidden. Stay safe, but stay close as well. Within sight of the gates, if you can.
Larisine stops. What's wrong with you?
Wrong? Oh, love. Little love. There's a lot that's gone wrong.
Are you okay?
Yes and no. Did you know about Ecdiarn? Did you know what happened?
We all felt him go.
I had something to do with that.
No. No.
I'm gonna show her my hand.
She backs away. No. No.
I didn't mean to. It was part of a deal that Ecdiarn made with Tatiana, and I failed.
No.
I failed him. I'm so sorry.
No. No. That's not true. She backs away from me even further.
Yeah. I let her. I put my hands up initially to like go towards her, but then I stopped. I understand.
Do you know what's happening to us?
I saw something happen to regular horses, but no, what's happening?
When we were cast out of the Feywild, they started to hunt us down.
They're doing what?
Used to be when we died, we would go to him. But now we just turn straight into nightmares. Devils are hunting us down like... I don't know how many there are left.
Then I will stop them. I have to. I can't.
But you don't smell like him anymore. You don't... What happened to your powers?
They left when he did.
Deirdre, you realize that this whole conversation has been out loud.
I just kind of close my eyes and look at Sentinel.
He is taken like 5 or 6 steps back.
Yep.
He is leaning against a tree, arms crossed, gaze down. Not paying... if he is listening, he doesn't look like he is paying much attention.
At this point, he probably either knows or guessed. And I don't care if he listens at this point. I will, Larisine, I swear to you. This I can do. Devils have been hunting me as well. I got abducted, nearly killed.
Yeah, but you're still alive.
I am. By the grace of my friends. And I can,
No.
I don't know how, but I want to help. Are you all together? Did you scatter? What?
I don't know where any of them are.
I see.
I thought if I found you, I would feel better, but I don't.
That's been the case for a lot of things.
I have to go.
Of course. I'll be here if you need me.
Goodbye, Deirdre. She gives Sentinel a bow. Goodbye, Horizon Walker. She leaves. With a low, almost bow, she raises her head and the wings beat heavily. The winter air getting blown all around you, your cloak flustering up in the wind.
I don't even have really the strength or emotional bandwidth to like cry. I'm all cried out at this point.
Are you saying this out loud?
No. just a very, very deep sigh and kind of
Sounds
Did
like
you know any of that?
I do now.
Yeah. That's not even the whole of it.
Yeah, I bet not. Is it true you don't have any powers?
Yes. I have what was given to me as an Asimar, but that's it.
Do you want to change that?
How?
How you get good at anything. Practice. A teacher.
I wouldn't say no, but what? What would I be learning?
Well, for me, if you wanted, I'm not so great at the, hanging on waves to the city. But I know these. I know how to hunt. I know how to track. I know how to find people. And I know about the plains. I keep the balance between them.
Oh. I need to speak with the others to let them know, but tentatively, yes.
Sorry, somebody's shouting in my front yard. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't want to... Yeah, of course.
Why don't you come to the tavern and we'll get you a drink and some food and I can have some time to explain things to everybody.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Come on. I'll introduce you. And I'll lead him back towards town.
Okay. It is, I would say, about early dinner time. That's in the late afternoon, in case anybody doesn't know what dinner is. One second. All right. It doesn't take you guys long to come back to the tavern, and coincidentally, your whole party is there. It's like magic.
Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful.
And that is where we're going to take a small break. But before we do, let's give an amazing shout out and say a farewell for now to our amazing guest, Austin, who played Adab, the elven sorcerer.
Thank you so much, sir. It was marvelous.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you
Hope
for
to be back at some point.
Definitely. Thank you for coming in and showing us a good time.
Brother!
For those of you who missed it, we are releasing a Patreon today. I'm going to play the short Patreon video, and then I'm going to play our lovely intro for those of you who have not seen it. As I announced earlier, if you sign up, if you become a patron right now in the next 24 hours, you get a set of stickers. Yeah.
Join us.
Sexy tiefling.
One
I
of
know.
us. One of us.
Up high.
Hi, I'm Maudie Dubois. It's a pleasure to meet you. Okay,
Oh
I'm
my
done.
God.
I'm done. All right. Thank you very much for putting that in the link. I'm going to play that right now, and we will be right back. Bye! Welcome to our Patreon. Here on Open for Adventure, we are making high-quality Dungeons & Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wondered what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Asmara. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Annalena, and even the Empress herself. Fiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Insider Scoop is where things start to get serious. This gives you access to private live streams of me doing plot, setting, and encounter planning for the entire Open for Adventure universe, including the offline game that I run in the same realm. This might be me setting up for a big battle, or maybe coming up with some new non-player characters. You can interact with me directly and possibly influence not only the upcoming streams, but the entire setting as well. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far, and also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. And our undying love. Hence the Warm Fuzzies. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers. Drum roll, please. The Lore Master. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming, official, Open for Adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. So, go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality.
Hi, I'm Leona Swift-Silver, full-time bard, part-time matchmaker. I was an orphan, so the story goes, found in a stable in Ilvinus by the local lord. Richard Kentigan raised me as part of his family. Well, sort of. I had a happy childhood, filled with songs and parties and everything else that goes with court life. I was content to spend the rest of my life there, perhaps even marry my childhood sweetheart Roman. But, unfortunately, fate had other plans. Lord Kentigan passed suddenly and unexpectedly. I was blamed for his death and no longer welcome in the place I called home. Shortly after, however, I made some new friends. These new friends became like family to me. A grumpy dad, a dear sister, and a kid brother who is very good at magic. We've traveled the country together, making new friends and some enemies along the way. As for me, I still love storytelling and singing love songs and planning my friends' weddings, with or without their knowledge. I'm a firm believer in happily ever afters, and I believe there's one waiting for each and every person I meet. Under the guiding light of Sarenrae, I hope to keep my friends safe from whatever may come our way. Personally, all I want out of life is to love and be loved in return, and maybe, one day, find a happily ever after of my own.
Sup, Kesra? Why am I doing this? Fine, okay. I'm Kesra Stormbreaker. You wanna know about me? Here we go. I'm from a shitty little town in the middle of nowhere. I left as soon as possible for a bigger town, and then left that as soon as possible. I had every intention of joining the Imperial Army and having an illustrious military career, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Instead, I joined a mercenary group, and I did that for about, 10 years? Went a lot of places, saw a lot of things, broke a lot of faces, and then I made the biggest mistake of my life. We don't have to go there. Instead, we'll talk about the second biggest mistake of my life, joining these idiots. I keep them safe, most of the time, or at least I try. They drive me crazy, all the time. It's great. I don't really have a choice either. Paylor said I had to, or the world was gonna end. I'm that peachy. I like beer, gold, and minding my own damn business. My special talents include blending in and otherwise being completely average. On purpose, usually. What else? I have a horse that talks to me in my brain. Yeah, apparently I'm a paladin or something. It's complicated. Am I done now? No? What else do you want me to say? Okay, fine. Look, I'm not that complicated. As long as I can keep these assholes alive, everything's fine.
Hello, I'm Maldi Dubois. It's a pleasure to meet you. Where to start? Well, I was raised by a kind woman in a traveling circus, where I learned all kinds of tricks, like how to read fortunes and gamble without losing. I eventually ended up in Wolfcrest, working with the Thieves Guild, until a question of morality had me fleeing the city with an orphaned goblin girl by my side. Unfortunately, she didn't make it. I traveled alone for a short while until I met Deirdre, and realized we'd be better off together. We met Leona in Ilverness after she ran into some trouble with her family, and I made a wager against Kesra for her to take us to Asbrin for a wedding. Did I mention I'm not one to lose a bet? While in Asbrin, I was kidnapped by members of the Cult of the Dragon Queen, where I struggled between wanting to get rid of the wild, unpredictable powers that had brought me nothing but pain, and possibly learning to control them. But before I could delve deeper into the promise of mastering my curse, my friends found me and intervened on my behalf. It was almost the end of us all, and I left the cult with a sour taste in my mouth. It wasn't long after that I met a mysterious man named Zephaliar, who claimed to know about my birth mother. I also learned that he is an ancient black dragon and a consort of Tiamat herself. Not to mention, my father. Unsure if I can trust him, I take what he says with caution. He did save my life when I needed it most, but he is still an ancient black dragon. I'm continuing my quest to learn to control and harness my powers, if I can learn to accept them first.
My name is Deirdre Kelly, and I was born in a small village outside of Faybreach. My parents warned me to stay out of the forest, but even back then I was never very good at listening. That's where I met Ectiarn. When I was 17, a terrible explosion destroyed my home, and nearly destroyed me as well. Ectiarn saved me, taking me to his home in the Feywild. There, he took care of me. He became my protector, my mentor, and my warlock patron. He was also my first love. But I couldn't stay there with him forever. After 10 wonderful years, though only 2 had passed on the material plane, I was forced to flee the home I had come to know and love. I was lost, and I didn't know where to go. I found myself alone on a ship, and that's where I met Maudie. We traveled together for 2 weeks before coming across Leona and Kesra, and the rest is history. Or so I thought. It's never that simple, is it? I didn't quite realize that my patron had made a deal with the Queen of the Fae, staking his immortality on me and my choices. Choices that, I soon realized, had consequences. Despite my best intentions, Ectiarn succumbed to fatal wounds inflicted by the Mad Lich King, leaving me grieving, and without a patron. Enter the Whispered One. The god of secrets found me, and exploited a moment of weakness. The promise of Ectiarn's revival came at a terrible cost, one that I continue to pay, even to this day. Now, I must work to right my wrongs and protect my newfound family against this looming danger, and any other threat that arises.
I'm Camille, and I'm the Dungeon Master. What you need to know is that we are playing 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons in a world of my own creation called Sanmaria. We're using the Dawn War Pantheon, with a few special additions. You might recognize some Pathfinder flair, from the Oracle class to the Goddess Sarenrae. And you can find homebrewed monsters, items, and even entire races in this campaign. You might see me play a 5th member of the group, a young paladin named Ray. He met the party at the royal wedding of the first Lord Theo of Azmorin, and traveled with them for quite some time before they discovered he's actually the crowned prince of the Empire, and on a quest to save his endangered family, as the Empire is in the middle of a civil war. Underlying players to this open rebellion are being slowly revealed throughout the game, and the characters are choosing to remain neutral. For now. But these unlikely heroes face a much bigger threat. An insurmountable force threatens the prime material plane, taunting the characters from just beyond their horizon. At the same time, many factions work to their own ends, both for and against the party's personal objectives. The Divine Covenant seeks to protect the Primal Ban, while the Silence claims to root out corruption at its core. The Cult of the Dragon Queen aims to raise their goddess from the 9 hells, and the Assembly still remains a mystery. Even the gods on high mean to meddle in the lives of these fated 4, to some unknowable end. These adventurers navigate trials from handling political intrigue to maintaining the balance of the cosmos, not to mention fighting their own personal demons. In a world where nothing is black or white, good or evil, Leona, Kesra, Deirdre, and Maudie must find a way to mark their own paths and claim their own destinies. Welcome to Open for Adventure. How about those new intros, y'all? Those are dope. Those are so good. The voice acting is spectacular. It's really great, eh? I know, right? It It was like a collaborative effort. What's up, Waka Flocka Seagulls? I just like to sing your name. Why are you guys muted? Hold on. We can't hear you guys. What happened? Hold on, guys. I literally changed nothing. Guys, we haven't had a problem in like 10 sessions. Oh my god, it's become... Y'all are unmuted.
Thanks. Okay. Are we always unmuted? No?
Rip stream.
Okay.
Got it.
No worries. I'll revivify it.
Here we go. We did it. We made it, guys. Here
Moral
we
of the
are.
story: the intros are awesome. The intros were super fun to do, and they're super fun to watch. And Camille has entirely too many things on her plate.
Yep, it's true.
Welcome to being a dungeon master.
It's like...
I feel like a single mom. Except for probably not as difficult as a single mom, I'm not gonna lie about that. But anyway, so let's get back to it. Deirdre has just met a stranger in the woods.
A handsome stranger.
By the name of Sentinel. And he is a... Yeah, this is my first time DMing ever. I've never actually DM'd in my life.
What is D&D? What are we doing here, guys?
What are the dice for?
Are you supposed to eat them?
No, kids, don't eat the dice.
Don't eat.
How much I do know.
Candy.
Mine do look like candy.
Disclaimer. Do not.
I'm going to put a disclaimer up.
Choking hazard for people under 3. Are we under 3?
Isn't that how literally every problem in Deirdre's life starts? Yes?
It's so true, though.
So, she's met a stranger in the woods, and this stranger, for those of you who missed it, I'll go ahead and describe him again. He's very tall, he's long blonde hair, he's got very sharp angular features, kind of tan skin, almost looks half elven in appearance, very graceful. He's got, you notice he has 2 short swords and a long bow. Various ranger accoutrements. Fabio of the forest, if you will. Thank you, Asmodean 6.
Oh my god.
I'm just going to leave that one there. And Deirdre, you walk in with this gentleman in tow to the tavern.
My first reaction is just to be like walking and go, "Hi guys!" No. I am going to walk up to the table, and I guess I am going to kind of go, "Hi guys," but it's less loud than that. I walk up and like, well, hi. I went for a walk outside the gates.
And you made a new friend.
Another one.
Yeah. This is Sentinel.
Hi.
Greetings.
I'm Fiona.
Like, is that just Sentinel?
No last name or anything like that. No, well, good to meet you.
The only name I've ever known.
It's fair.
Oh, bugger me.
Is that familiar to me, DM?
Yes, it is.
That's what I thought.
Sentinel is... you would also know him as the Watcher of the Woods. In fact, Leona, you recognize this gentleman.
You?
Do you remember in the very first session when you were trying to buy armor?
Yes.
You
I
were
do.
trying to buy armor, and
he was so nice.
he was swindling
My
you.
son. Yes. You're so far from home.
Could say the same about you.
I was kicked out of my home, so it happens.
In fact, so I will say, Kessler, you know him as the Watcher in the Woods. You know he is kind of an infamous ranger in the Wild Woods who is known for being a very good guide for mercenary groups through the Wild Woods. His prices are fair. He doesn't really seem to be in it for the money. He just wants to. So far, like he doesn't say it, but you know he's never lost a person in the Wild Woods.
All right.
It's only been like a month and a half since you guys seen him.
No, it's been longer than that. I
Has it been
thought
3 months?
It's been like 3 months. I think.
Okay. You've been together for 3 months.
No, only.
The 3-month anniversary.
Don't. Just don't. No.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd see you guys again, but
Sentinel. I'm gonna pull the necklace with Larisine's baby feathers out of my bag. Larisine's here. He brought her.
Who?
And she's here. She's upset, understandably, but she's here, and he brought her. And
When is here?
oh, she's not in the city. I explained what happened, and she kind of flew off. I don't blame her. But he says he can train me. He can teach me how to track and how to. I can help. It's a way for me to be useful again. And I want to take him up on it. But I didn't want to go anywhere without telling you guys.
The buddy system.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Thanks for not, running off into the woods with a guy.
I look at Mondi. I wouldn't do that.
So you would need to leave to train?
Yes. A couple weeks.
To,
I don't really work in the city, if you catch my drift.
Yep.
Excellent form, by the by.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Ray,
no,
claps you on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a forest thing.
so this is getting awkward. I'm going to go get another drink.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Is that Ray or Sentinel that said that?
That was Sentinel.
Okay.
I will buy the bloke a drink.
He seems nice.
Sparkles, are you sure? I mean,
Dead weight. I have no use. I feel like I have no purpose. I can't heal you. I am looking at Mondi. I can't bring you back. I don't have any way to contribute.
but
And I don't want to be dead weight.
it's valid.
But do you trust this person to just go off in the woods for 2 weeks for him to train you?
I
Look.
don't know if I trust him, but I trust Larisine.
I will say that guy, if he's actually Sentinel, I've never met the guy, but he's got about as good of a reputation as anybody that works for money can. I don't think he actually works for money. He just kind of accepts it because people give it to him. So, I don't, he doesn't, look, working manner and actual manner, completely fucking different things. So I can't attest to whether or not he's a dick, but he's got a good rep. And frankly, that's real important. I don't know if you should run off into the woods by yourself with him. Generally, woodland excursions don't go well for us, historically speaking. Um, but I'm not going to stop you.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard you give an endorsement for somebody, Kessra. That was mildly terrifying.
I mean, like I said, I don't know if he's a dick, but he generally does at least what he says he's going to do to large groups of armed people.
Well, what if we end up moving on, and what if we can't find you once you finish your training? I mean, I don't.
Surely we won't move on without her.
I can send her a message.
I don't know why we would go anywhere without Deirdre. Is there anywhere we need to go we need to go in the next 2 weeks? Or I'm assuming however long it takes.
I mean, Chuckles, do you plan on leaving?
No, I was just.
I'm fucking with you, dude. It's fine.
Deirdre, you do what you need to do, and I support it.
I will give Mondi a kiss on the cheek. Thank you.
At this time, Sentinel and Marshall are at the bar.
What do you want to drink, mate?
Oh, just a ale is fine.
Fair enough. I'll order 2 ales.
I didn't really know what to expect coming in here. Seems such a good idea at the time.
At least you got alcohol out of it. I mean, it won free anyway. What were you expecting then?
I don't know. I felt I don't know if you know much, if you would understand this, but I felt a calling to offer to help.
Yeah, I understand callings.
And I spend most of my time by myself. In the woods, just...
If it makes you feel any better, I spent the last decade in the woods by myself.
You miss it?
It's a strange question. I could say yes and no.
What made you leave?
Somebody needed me. I suppose that's the same reason you've got, huh?
Yeah, actually, it is.
No, you don't seem like too bad of a bloke then.
I do my best. It's all anyone can do.
I will wonder out loud. Don't tell me I've got another fucking kid.
What?
Never mind.
Yeah. I found a Pegasus. And she told me that someone needed my help.
Those are rare.
Well, yeah. The Pegasi have all been kicked out of, well, ejected from the Feywild. I've been working to find a new home for them, but it's slow going.
No.
I work, it's my duty to preserve the order of the plains, if you know what I mean.
No, but I catch what you're saying.
Yeah. So, I take this kind of stuff personally.
I like you.
Thanks, I think.
So what's the plan then?
Which one?
Well, as far as taking Deirdre out?
Well, I figure I can teach her the way I was taught. By doing.
Yeah.
I want to get all of the Pegasi back. Find a new home for them. I think she can help.
Would DM question? Would I, in this realm, would I know anything about Pegasi?
You would know that Pegasi live in many different planes. They are used as mounts for the Seraldine. They're very rare. They are also used as nightmares. There's a dark ritual that's used to tear their wings off. And they turn. In fact, you fought a nightmare in front of Alexander's house. You fought a paladin on a nightmare. A nightmare is just a creature that, like, a Pegasi has been converted into through dark magic, usually to serve devils.
I don't know if you would let me, but would I? No. Well, he hasn't said anything about that. I don't want to metagame. Never mind.
Go ahead. Why not?
No. I was going to say, like, if he's talking about Pegasi and I know that's how that happens, I would probably ask him, like, how recently were they ejected?
Around the winter solstice. As far as I know, they've been hunted. Being hunted by, I don't know, fiends. Other people too, but I found Larisine with two horn devils. And they were trying to turn her into a shadow. To a nightmare.
Well, I'll be straightforward with you, mate. Me and devils don't get along too well.
Me either. Trust me.
In fact, I kind of enjoy watching them die. So, where was this?
This was in the Wildwoods. South of Ilverness. You know where the Wildwoods are.
Yeah.
Towards the north, but when they were ejected from the Feywild, they were sent through all of the different portals, so there's no telling where they ended up. I'm sure there's a ton near Faybreach. Maybe a handful. There's actually a portal to the Faybreach in a small town south of Faybreach. A portal to the Feywild in a small town south of Faybreach called Adare.
Adari. So I will eye Kessera and then look back at Sentinel. And can I make some sort of insight check on this bloke?
Certainly. What would you like to ascertain?
I'm trying to see if he's being, because he seems very forthcoming and he seems very straightforward with me.
Yep.
I'm just trying to see if there's any like facial tics or anything like that. That's.
Why don't you roll insight check?
90. 14 plus.
This guy's not hard to read.
No.
He seems a little nervous. You recognize the feel. You recognize it because you also are aware of that feeling of when you've been away from people for so long and you're around them again.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you're on high alert and you're paying attention to everything going on around you all at once. He's got that look, that like ready to jump at action at any moment. I don't want to tell you that there's nothing he's not telling you, because obviously you're not having this incredibly long conversation.
Yeah.
He seems pretty honest. He seems pretty simple. Like, not intelligence-wise, but straightforward.
Yeah. He's just even,
Yeah.
Well, then I will eye Kesha again and say, look, those nightmares, I fought one, what was it, about a week ago, real time then? 2
Week and a
weeks?
half. No. It's been a month.
Oh, a month. Yeah, about a month ago, there was a Nazgul on a nightmare.
On the prime-material plane.
Yeah, it was a bit worrying.
I've been seeing a lot of devils lately, too.
Yeah, and there's something definitely going on.
Yeah.
Look, heaps of people are interested in this whole business, and between you and I think I look at them. Obviously, you're a ranger, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Keep an eye out. I don't know if you have a way to contact me, but you find anything, I'd like to know.
Anything like what?
Look, mate, all I want is to make sure that these fuckers aren't flooding into our world.
I think it's a little late for that.
Yeah, well, I can at least nip it in the bud, can't I?
Yeah. We could try.
Look, can't fix everything, but evil only wins when good men do nothing. Oh, and by the by, go talk to her boyfriend for me. You're pissing him the fuck off, mate.
Boyfriend.
You just pay attention. You'll figure it out.
Fuck.
Yeah, mate. It's not a good one.
That wasn't my intention.
I know. It's all right. Just here. I'm gonna buy him another drink, a whiskey this time.
Okay. He looks a little thrown off. Like human relationships, like social relationships did not even come to his brain when he was doing this.
I have no doubt that your intentions were pure, but you might want to calm that one down.
All right. He takes the drink and he walks over and sits next to Ray.
No, bugger me. Fuck it. Can I have a double whiskey? In fact, can you put 4 in the glass for me?
He gives you the bottle.
Fuck, here, take this silver. I look at the bar.
He doesn't say anything, he just sits down.
I look at the barmaid and I say, why do they have to make everything so fucking complicated?
You know, I don't know. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, it do be like that, don't it?
It do.
It do. And I will go back to the table.
Ugh. Sentinel's just sitting there. Sipping on his drink. So... how's it going?
Who is he talking to?
It's going very well. I mean, it could be going better. But it's going okay. Better now that you're here, I think. It's kind of hard to... I'm having trouble reading the table.
You, I see you're not wearing that armor. You didn't end up buying it?
Nah, unfortunately.
Oh. You've made it pretty far without armor.
I'm very quick on my feet.
All right. Okay.
I've only died once.
Died?
It wasn't a big deal. It's fine. It's fine.
Ray's like, it was a big deal.
Yes, it was a big deal. It really, really was.
Great time.
Oh God.
We have drinks. We have a new friend.
Who's your...
You're the new friend.
God help us.
So, friend, while you're
Monty, right?
I never introduced myself to
Oh,
him.
you didn't? Oh, sorry. I thought you did. That was Camille.
Yeah, no.
Mubby. Sorry, I never caught your name. I'm
Well,
Sentinel.
D. And I like reach my hand across and shake
I'll shake.
and make it a point to kind of grip it a little harder than his. You were very appreciative of you taking care of Deirdre. It's very opportune. Just out of curiosity, what exactly is it you'll be teaching her while she's under your watch?
Well, hopefully I can help foster a relationship with nature where she can have access to the weave and pull from that magical nature to help hunt, track, survive. Ideal, especially in otherworldly magic. Guarding against threats that originate on other planes. Air elementals, Efreets, fiends, sometimes even celestials. Not often, but sometimes.
Wow.
Sometimes I go there to the inner and outer planes as I need to. I look out for planar portals. I watch over them.
I think it's fair to give you a heads up that there's a little bit of negative history. Oh, fuck. Devils tend to follow us.
I was actually just talking about that with Marshall.
Yeah.
I found Deirdre's friend, Larisine the Pegasi. She was being...
That's what it was. Shit, I was what? Sorry, go on. I'm sorry. Sorry.
She's been hunted by a couple of devils, a couple of horned devils. So, there have actually been a lot of fiends and fae that have been coming into the prime-material plane.
Well, she seems to be a target for a lot of them, just fair warning.
Asimar usually are. I've been dealing with it my whole life.
Well, then never mind.
I appreciate the warning, though.
So how long are you gonna pop off and...
I don't really know how long it should take. I'm guessing at a minimum a fortnight.
All right.
Depends on how much she wants to learn. How quickly she can learn.
It's fair, I guess.
When she's ready to come back, I'll bring her back.
I'll be quick, or I'll try. I've been practicing with the bow. I've been working with it for years, so that bit shouldn't be too hard. But
just anticipate at least one message a night from Sunshine over here.
Do you have a way of reaching us in case Deirdre or both of you end up in trouble while you're training?
It takes a little bit of time, but I know how to get a message to you if I need to.
If you need to, please don't hesitate.
Just be on the lookout for friendly animals.
Okay.
That's how I can... Never mind.
I got you, mate.
I only got one talking horse. I don't need anything else talking to me. Sunshine, you can have all of them.
I love animals.
Yep.
But not all animals. I don't like bugs.
No.
Be a bug?
I will not send a bug.
Okay, thank you.
Probably a raven. Or an owl, maybe.
Terrifying? Sure.
Slightly familiar.
Something that can fly. Are there any other questions?
I only have the one, but I want to ask you when you're about to leave, so I'll save it till then.
Do you know the flight speed of an unladen swallow? You seem like the person that would.
I'm sorry, was that common?
Never mind. It's an old cat.
One last question. Why are you so... What? I'm trying to figure out the way to phrase this. What do we owe you for doing this for Deirdre?
Owe me?
Well, yes, most training or items come with a price.
Transaction of sorts.
Yeah. A trade or...
Roll a persuasion check, Monty.
Persuade him to accept payment.
I'm going to use an inspiration die.
Okay.
All right, that's better. 24.
I'm not really used to talking about this kind of thing with a bunch of strangers.
Strangers anymore, we're friends.
And you're also taking a very close friend of ours away for a while.
Right.
And we just want to know your intentions.
I understand. Asimar, sometimes when we're born, we're given a, to call them a guardian angel, I think is a far stretch. Like a mentor of sorts. Someone who tries to tell you what to do from your celestial heritage. They told me to come here. Well, they told me to find Larisine. And I found Larisine, and Larisine asked me to come here. And when I got here, heard that voice again. And I don't know, something's been going on. Something weird has been going on lately.
Yep.
I haven't ever left the Wildwoods before until recently. But things are changing, and I'm trying to change with them. I know that's not really a great answer to your question, but I'm not here for payment. Seems to be important to somebody that I do this.
Do you know who that voice was?
My particular that scared the shit out of me. Why you gotta ask me these questions?
Because you make good characters and I want to know more.
Well, I gotta bring a pretty boy around.
Guides. They're called guides. My guide's name is Tadriel.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if that would mean much to you.
Nah.
It's kind of an Asimar thing.
Let's take your word for it.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm a little weirded out too.
It's good to know. Well, is this gonna happen? Sparkles, you gonna mosey on out, have a picnic?
I think so, but I don't feel right doing it without offering something in return. Sentinel, when I'm stronger, I would like to help you with trying to return the Pegasi, finding them a new home.
We can do that right now.
Okay. Okay.
And not just the Pegasi, we can... There are some Fae and Fiends that need some relocation.
Okay. Can work with that too.
I have not let go of the necklace. It's been a long day, you guys. Necklace that has Larisine's baby feathers on it. I'm going to turn to Mundi and I'm going to give it to him.
Sentinel goes, oh.
And I will go, yeah.
What?
Nothing.
You know what this is. Can you keep it safe for me while I'm gone?
Only if you promise to return to retrieve it from me. Soon.
I promise.
I don't even look at
Ray
Kestra.
punches,
I just go like that.
Ray punches Kestra on the shoulder.
Fuck. Fuck, fine. Jesus.
Ray is just watching. He doesn't even look away from Leona. He's just watching Leona.
I realize that's the first time that, like, I've been that way towards Deirdre in front of everyone a little bit. And just like, yes, I will watch it for you.
Thank you. Actually, do you mind if I put it on you? Is that okay?
Yes. Yes.
Look over at Leona.
What? I didn't say anything.
Oh.
I would look square at Leona. You were right.
I was drinking my drink. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, some of that bottle.
It would be my honor. Feel free.
She has all the subtlety of a black dragon, I swear. And all.
I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God, where's this shit show?
And I'm gonna give Deirdre a kiss in front of everyone after that.
I was gonna do the same thing.
Oh.
Sentinel looks away, not like he's embarrassed, just like he's he's watching his parents kiss. You know that feeling?
Yeah.
I will lift my glass and go, fucking finally.
I think this calls for a song.
Oh, God. Mm-mm.
Are you going to sing for us? I don't know. Sorry, that's out loud. Are you going to sing for us? From Ray.
I was going to play my lute.
Well, go on. Give us a song then.
I'm like I'm like scrambling to get the lute back in front of me and like get up, but I'm trying to play at the same time because I'm just really excited. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna play. No. That's not deeply.
Down.
You know, I was about to scream Freebird, but I didn't want to like go to that.
What do you sing for him?
Oh God, I wasn't ready. Leona just got really excited about singing songs.
Love song.
I'm trying to give a love song.
I'm yours, Jason Mraz.
I
Never gonna let you go. I'm gonna hold you in my arms forever.
Yeah, hey. No.
We'll always love you.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
All right, guys, this has been a nice time, but this is it for over A. We're actually shutting down right now. This is it. Anything, Mindy, or do you want me to like
move on?
Yeah.
Nope, just go on. Sorry.
Delicate? Taylor Swift? Listen for the best. Never mind. I'm just trying to help you out. I love you. All right. So.
Bye.
Oh my god. Anyway, back to Dungeons and Dragons. Leona plays a beautiful song and it's amazing and awesome. Sentinel actually looks like he's having a good time, which is like the first time you guys have seen him not looking like he's got a stick up his ass.
So it is possible to remove it. Good to know. Keep that in mind for Ray.
What? Ray is having a good time too.
Fine.
Ray is a bigger drunk than I am, and that's saying something.
You can be a drunk and sell a stick up your butt.
What are we talking about right now?
Nothing fancy pants.
Number in Uranus, I believe that's what we're talking
That's
about.
disgusting. Anyway. He just goes back to listening to Leona sing.
Fair enough. I was trying to get a rise out of him, but it didn't work.
He's ignoring you. As usual. Deirdre, as the night kind of goes on, Sentinel says, do you want to go now or do you want to wait?
I don't know. What do you think?
Sooner the better.
Okay. Sure. Let me just give my back to Leona and we can go.
Okay.
So actually, is Leona still playing? Maybe I won't give it to Leona.
She's still playing.
Okay, then I won't. I will give it to Ray because I know Kessra is terrified of this bag.
Yes.
As reasonable people should be.
I'll get it to her.
I will come up to Ray and I'm gonna head out. Will you keep an eye on this for me while I'm gone?
Certainly. You want to be alright?
I think so. This is an opportunity, and I would be a fool to waste it.
I agree. You know, I just worry for you.
You're very kind, Ray.
No, I just care about you.
That makes you a kind person.
Well, I will look after your bag.
Thank you. As I'm turning away, I will say, put it near Kessra, see what happens, and I'll walk.
I accept your challenge.
And then I'll kind of make my way around the table, kind of making my excuses and saying that I'm going, and I'll come up to Leona, or not Leona, sorry, go up to Kessra. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I guess let me know if y'all go somewhere.
Try not to get stuck on a roof.
I'll try. I don't think there are many roofs or ladders up in the forest, so that shouldn't be too big of an issue.
Yeah, and yet somehow I don't doubt you'll find a way.
I'm me.
Don't die, right?
I'll try.
All right. Okay. For the record, I probably couldn't kick his ass, so like, keep that in mind.
I will. I definitely will. I will go up to Marshall. And I will give him a big hug, which he can't feel because he's wearing armor.
And he's drunk. If you wrap it around his neck.
That's true. I don't want to feel like I'm choking him, though, but it's fine.
When she hugs me, I will cast Death Ward on her.
Okay.
Force a habit.
Well, it's appreciated. I'll be back in a bit, so Don't go wandering off before I get back, okay?
Can't promise anything. You know us.
I do. But at least let me know before you go, or have someone let me know.
You'll be all right. No worries.
Then is Leona still playing?
No, she's not still playing.
Okay, I will go to Leona. And I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too, but it's only for 2 weeks.
It's only for
And I'll
2 weeks.
message you every night.
I look forward to it. Try to don't get in trouble without me.
Yes. Same to you.
I don't know how likely that is, but I'll try.
Yes. And then I'm just gonna pull you in for a hug.
And I will hug you back. Oh, by the way, Ray has the bag. So
I
if
think
you
we
guys,
should put Kessler in charge of the bag.
that is both simultaneously the greatest and poorest decision anyone could ever make. I might have challenged Ray to do just that. We'll see.
I will let you know how it goes.
Please do. I look forward to it. And then I'll go over to Mondi and I'll sit next to him. I'll take his hand. I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too. But you'll be safe and you'll be back soon.
It's true. I will be. And I have to come back for my necklace and my bag, and I have to come back for you all.
And you have to keep the card I gave you safe.
I have it.
Keep it close.
Always.
Lean over, give her a kiss. I love you.
I love you too. I'll be back. And I'll squeeze his hand and I will go over to Sentinel. Ready when you are.
All right, let's go.
I follow.
Deirdre and Sentinel lead out the front door. Leaving the rest of you to do as you please. Now, you guys are going to get some downtime.
Woo.
Some more downtime. I will say, so we are going to split off to Deirdre and Sentinel for a little bit. So if the rest of you guys want to sit back, relax for the last little bit of the session.
Okay.
The sun is beginning to set as you two leave. He looks, before you leave town, he looks you up and down. Do you have winter gear?
I'm probably wearing it. I'm wearing my armor and probably like my cloak and gloves. I would have grabbed that along with my bow and quiver before I left.
All right. There's a portal near here. We're gonna start there.
Okay.
But first, we've got to find it.
Okay.
Let's start walking.
Sure.
He leads you up north. You learn pretty quickly that Sentinel is very quiet. He's used to traveling alone. You've heard of rangers having beast companions, but he doesn't even seem to really have that. Is there anything that you would bring up or want to talk to him about?
Mostly just, how does he know there's a portal nearby? You know, how...
I know there's a portal nearby.
I'm mostly pretty quiet.
Yeah. You can learn to sense them. Like you know how when you met me, you probably sensed I was an Aasimar.
Yes, very clearly.
It's like that.
Oh.
But you have to learn how to see them. I've been learning this since I was a young boy. So let's just say you're going to learn differently than I did.
I would imagine so. I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Sure, yeah. It's... I think after that I'm supposed to say you're welcome.
You can say whatever you want. You're not the first person I've met who has difficulties with conversations.
I find conversations perfectly easy. I find niceties and social graces more challenging.
I know someone like that too.
Yeah, I've always been on my own. Except for my mentor.
Who was your mentor?
Her name is Raven. She, well, she doesn't do what I do, but she kind of taught me how to do it. Her and some others. I'm being really vague.
That's okay. I'm learning how to do just that. Kestra gets mad at me.
Yeah, she looks like the angry type.
She very much is. She's also the person who doesn't really know social graces.
Oh, I'm not an angry type. I might not understand what you're supposed to say when you're supposed to say it, but what I do is always required more even temperament, I suppose. That is to say, if I say anything that offends you, let me know.
I'm not easily offended.
Okay. Raven always had a really thick skin. So, I could say whatever I wanted, and I never learned to, like young pups will correct each other. And
Feel free to speak your mind.
You're not the only one who is hunted.
In what sense?
What do you know about, what do you know about your Aasimar heritage?
What? My mother didn't tell me much.
You're not... Kelly's not an Aasimar name.
No. My mother's maiden name was it Windbringer?
Windbringer, something like that.
Yeah. I correctly say my mother's maiden name.
Like I said, do you know much about your Aasimar heritage?
My mother had this book that I read through as a child. It was a genealogy of sorts. So nothing in depth, but bits and pieces. Does the term keeper mean anything to you?
Yes. I'm a keeper.
Me too.
I've been a part of the Covenant since I was old enough to breathe.
You're part of the Covenant. I have a lot more questions. You're gonna get very. Oh.
I mean, I don't. Like I said, I don't work with a lot of people. I work to keep the gate. I work to protect. To learn how to be strong enough to protect the gate. That's always been my purpose, to protect the gate.
Is anything happening with the gate? Oh, we've heard things and we don't know how true they are, and
I don't know. I lived in the Wildwoods for 20 years, and one day Raven came to me and said that I had to leave, that it wasn't safe anymore. That my purpose was no longer in the Wildwoods, and I trusted her, so I left.
I see.
Like I said, well, I mean, I protect all of the portals, but, you know, I suppose my purpose, what I've been trained for, has been to protect the Divine Gate. That's what all of us keepers are for.
I've heard there aren't many, and that they may be hunted.
My parents were killed when I was... before I can remember. But yes, keeper bloodlines have always been hunted.
Do we know why? I imagine so that the gate could be destroyed or altered in some way. And do you know who's doing it?
I don't know for sure. I know the Silence has no qualms with killing. But I know that I've been dealing a lot lately with dragons as well.
Dragons?
Chromatic dragons.
What colors?
All kinds. White, blue, black, green.
When you say dragons, do you mean fighting them, or do you mean in what capacity are you encountering these dragons?
Well, you know, I protect portals and I keep an eye on them. Lately I've been noticing dragons making their lairs near portals. And have, especially chromatic, and have been setting up hordes and bringing their cults, their minions. They like to have followers. And they set up these camps. I could take out the smaller ones myself, but I don't fight dragons. I don't fight adult dragons on my own.
No, I can't imagine any person who would.
But
what? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say that I heard a story about a woman who was kept, an Aasimar woman, who was kept by the cult, kidnapped and enslaved. And I heard she died. Heard she was the last of her line.
What do you think would happen if a dragon got a hold of a keeper?
Any dragon? Or a dragon that's part of the cult?
Red?
I don't know. If they're a part of the cult, maybe they would... Keepers were the only ones who can access the gate.
Right.
And so... maybe they would try and corrupt the gate. Maybe they would try and bring down the gate. Maybe they're trying to open the gate.
Okay.
I don't know. Why?
I had a vision of my mother, and she was with a transformed red dragon.
Why?
Why?
Why was she with him? Them. Apologies.
I only heard the dragon say that something to the equivalent of "thank goodness she's out of that terrible place." I had thought that my mother had been taken by the silence.
They do kidnap ASMR frequently.
I keep getting conflicting information. And so I looked for a way to find my mother, and I did. But she wasn't with the silence. She was with this dragon. She didn't seem to be in distress from what I could tell. They were playing dragon chess. But it's a chromatic dragon, and she's a keeper.
That is very troubling.
She's being hidden in a mountain in the desert.
If this red dragon is working with the cults, they want more than anything to raise their goddess from the Nine Hells, from Avernus. And I think they want to use a keeper to do it.
And any keeper will do, or is it a specific bloodline?
I don't know. I'm just one person, and the more any one person knows about this kind of thing, the more danger they're in.
Well, now there's two of us, and I'll help where I can.
I should take you to the Covenant. After we're done training, if you wanted, you could meet them.
I would, very much so, but... And I look back towards where we're walking away from Wolfcrest. They wouldn't be able to come, would they?
Probably not. They don't have... I do not mean to sound... Forgive me, but they don't have as much to lose as you and I do. They might care about you deeply and possibly more than they think themselves, but they will never have to bear this burden of possibly being the thing that causes the ruination of the entire world.
Oh, I know that feeling. Do you know what it means to have a corrupted mark?
A corrupted mark?
Yes.
What's a mark?
The symbol of the keepers.
I don't know about a symbol.
Do you have a way to identify magical things?
Sort of. I can detect magic.
It's worth a shot. And I will hold out my left arm that has my mark.
Mm-hmm.
See if this does anything. Please.
Sure. He waves detect magic. He kind of sees the... I don't see a mark.
Okay. Previously, there have been people who have been able to see a rune, I suppose, on me. I've seen it. I was granted the ability to see it once.
I mean, I can see your aura.
My aura.
As a Horizon Walker, I can see it. That's how I knew you were an Asmar. It's how I knew you were a keeper. But I don't know anything about runes.
Then, did you detect anything similar when we were with my friends?
No. Just you. I mean, I saw something strange with the tiefling, but it wasn't like a keeper.
What did you sense? Sorry, he means a lot to me.
It's hard to explain.
That's fair.
I saw darkness.
He has a lot going on.
I'm not here to judge. I only keep the borders safe. I only keep the boundaries safe. I work with all kinds of creatures. I work against all kinds of creatures. I know there's no black and white.
This is definitely not my secret to tell, but I think it's important. The mark, the rune that I was telling you about. Monty has one too. His mother was an Aasimar.
Do you know her name?
I don't. Just that she fell.
Oh. Oh. I see. No wonder I was called to you. All of you, or the rest of you, this seems very important. We should get your training started immediately.
Of course. Of course. Thank you for answering my questions. Sorry, I'm sure that was a lot.
We look out for each other, Asmars. Quick, this way.
All right.
And be quiet.
I try to be quiet.
Make a stealth check.
Oh God. Okay.
Back at the ranch. What's going on at the inn?
I am still quietly drinking in the same spot. Being moody Maldi.
Ray comes to sit down next to you. Can I get you a refill? Wait, can I get you a refill?
I'm alright, thank you.
Well, here, I brought you this anyway. He sets another one down. If you don't drink it, well, someone around here will.
Well, I'm sure if it gets warm, Kessler will drink it.
Yeah.
I guess it'd all be warm, whatever.
Yeah. You alright, mate?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just
It's not easy.
don't really
Go ahead.
just get nervous whenever our party is apart, you know?
I understand the feeling. Watching you all walk away is very difficult for me.
There's never a guarantee that they'll return, and
There's never a guarantee anything in this life. That's one thing I've learned. Even for someone like me. You and I could not have more different backgrounds, yet here we are in the same place. Same town, fighting the same shit. But she'll come back.
I know she will. Thank you again.
That's what I'm here for. It's been a while since you and I had to sit down.
How long do you suppose? Do you think you'll stay in Wolfcrest with us, or?
I'm not sure. I think Marshall wants to go and meet my sister. And I could use a check-in on her. So we might take a quick trip down there. Let you in on a bit of a secret. I'm not really good at letting you all get into trouble without me.
Well, it definitely helps whenever you're around when trouble comes. You and Marshall both.
Marshall especially.
I mean, we all owe you our lives. Well, most of us.
Well, don't mention it. Really don't.
If I can give you one small piece of advice before you decide to leave, if you don't mind me intruding.
Go on.
Leona likes to sort of group people together, often in her own mind, it seems. And I waited a very long time. I don't know people's business. I try to stay out of it by Kessler's advice. But make sure if you have anything to say before you leave, you do. Whenever I disappeared, I was very worried I wouldn't be able to say the things I wanted to. But I'm glad I did.
What if it's not the right time?
I didn't feel like the right time when I said it, or when I was honest and open. I don't think there'll ever be a right time. You just have to take a chance, I guess. Maybe, like,
I suppose you're right.
It's just a piece of advice. Take with it what you will.
Well, it worked out for you, didn't it?
It did.
They're too good for us, you know.
Probably so.
I think this is the definition of the term out of our league.
You're definitely right about that.
Well, I appreciate the advice. I know it comes from the heart, and that means the world to me.
And I reach or give him, or he already has a beer, so take his beer or take the beer he gave me and cheers him.
Cheers. Kesra, what are you doing?
Oh, drinking, thinking, continuing to contemplate my life and my choices.
Marshall?
Is Kesra at the bar then?
Yeah. Chuckles was an ironic nickname to begin with. I'm gonna remove myself from that looming air of gloom that he's got at the table right now. So it's not as gloomy now after he's had the conversation, but at the time, initially, I'll probably go up to the bar and sit, ruminate.
I'll give her a sideways glance and say, "How's that book going for you?"
I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna look at him. I didn't know you could write Elvish.
Who the fuck said I could write Elvish?
Well, considering the fact that I didn't actually show anyone that book, I looked at it, closed the box, and walked away. I have biceps.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't catch a lot, but I'm catching up.
Thank God for fucking whiskey.
I will join him.
Leanna, what are you doing?
I'm probably like wandering through tuning my lute. Just wandering around. Probably bumping into people and apologizing immediately after. Eventually I'll come back, but I was gonna try to cheer at Mondi, and then Ray came over to cheer at Mondi, and I don't know what's going on with the paladins. Eventually I'll probably swing back towards no, I'm probably just wandering around.
As you wander around, you look up and you see that Mondi is alone, and you kind of start to slip around, and you actually come chest to chest with Ray. And it nearly causes him to spill his beer, and he has to catch the both of you.
Sorry.
You all right?
There it is. Yes, it's tuned now.
Is it? Still?
I think so. It was a little sharp, so I had to fix it.
Very well.
It's good now. It sounded better over there. The acoustics are better in that corner.
In the corner?
I know, it's very strange.
Are you lying?
No.
Are you lying to me right now?
No. No. Why would I lie about that?
I don't know. It was a very conspicuous statement.
I often make statements like that.
Are you telling me to go to the corner?
No.
I'm very confused right now, Leona. I'm a little drunk and I'm very confused.
Maybe we should sit down.
Very well.
That's maybe we do that.
Very well.
Sit down.
Very well. Well, What are you going to do now that Deirdre's gone?
That is an excellent. I have a few books I need to read. I have a book I need Kesra to read. I don't. She got that. She got the book right.
The Paladin book?
Hasn't read it yet.
Oh, I told Marshall about that.
But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a bedtime story tonight. I'm gonna try to go up before she goes up and like find it. Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Do you want my help?
Great idea, but
Do you want my help?
Yes. Oh wait!
Do you want to do it right now?
Wait! Before we do that, we have to do the creepy bag.
Oh, yes.
I told Deirdre I would tell her what happened.
How about at the same time? Replace the book with the bag.
I grab both of his shoulders. You're brilliant!
Let's go right now. Let's go.
Okay.
Roll a stealth check.
I'm gonna cast. I know Ray's not super stealthy, correct?
Yes.
I'm casting guidance on him.
Okay. He actually rolled really well.
Well, great. Should have casted guidance on myself. Really should have cast guidance on myself. 10.
Kessler, how's drunk are you?
Somewhere.
I mean, I give it a solid
How many sheets to the wind?
1.5. Pleasantly tipsy.
Oh,
Enjoying the feeling.
Okay. You see Ray and Leona sneak off together.
do I see it?
They're looking very sneaky.
it.
They're looking very suspicious.
I'm
But
very
Kesra,
I didn't know what you're talking about.
you recognize that look.
I'm going to send a message to Leona. And I'm going to say, I've got the letter in my pocket, right?
What letter? What are you talking about?
Apparently you read letters, according to Blondie. He said hi.
Oh, Alexander, hi!
Yeah.
Leona, who are you talking to?
Oh, I'm talking to Kesra. Hold on 1 second. I think. Wait, is he the one that sent you the whiskey?
He said that you've read letters before. So if you're trying to look for that letter, I already have it.
From my parents.
Yeah. If
Kesra,
you're looking for the letter, I have it. I mean, I have it. It's not up there. That's what I meant to say. I have it. You're not going to find it. I'm trying to go be nosy.
Okay.
You look like you're going to be nosy.
I would
I already have. I have it.
I'm
You can't read it. I have it.
Ray-
I have it.
I'm just
Kesra.
giving Ray his look back.
Yes.
Kesra, you hear a voice in your head as a message appears. Kesra, shut up. Leave her alone.
I'm gonna slam my cup down onto the counter. My eyes are unfocused, but I'm like pointing like I'm talking to Ray, and I say in my head, Ray, Fancy Pants, whatever the fuck your name is. You be good. She's not. It's been like a week, bro. Like, calm, cool the jets. Whatever the fuck those are. Don't, I swear to fuck, she's like, Fancy Pants. Keep it in the pants.
I will turn to Kesra and go, how fucking drunk are you?
Wait, was that out loud? Shit, did he even get any of that? How do I, hang on, hold up. I'm going to focus real hard, and I'm going to send a message to Ray and be like, did you hear anything I just said, Fancy Pants?
What?
You muted, because you were cackling.
No reply.
I'm gonna send a message to Kesra. Are we playing message tag now?
God, no, this is the worst decision.
To Leona,
Oh my god.
I would like to be
What
part of
happens
this
when you put?
Fancy Pants, I know you can hear me.
I'm gonna send a
If
message.
you go up there, I will find you.
I can hear you. I'm just trying to have a conversation with Leona alone. This is in his head.
Oh, I'm gonna send him it. Oh,
Okay.
do I see that
I
he's?
wanted to make sure it was working right. That's all.
Yes, I was just ignoring you.
That's real nice. Don't forget, I can do this however often I want.
Go on, Leona.
I'm gonna send a message to Mondi. Hi, Mondi.
Oh, I forgot we can do that. Hello, Leona.
Oh, he said hi back. Mondi said hi.
Leona, are we gonna do this or what?
Yes, let's go.
Okay. You guys break into Castro. Wait, it's your
It's
sharing.
my room too, so we don't really break.
I already have the letter. Obnoxiously loud. You could hear a little bit.
I'm gonna send a message. I don't believe you.
Oh well, she's not gonna find it.
What a shame.
What are we doing again, Leona? Replacing the book with the bag?
We're doing the book with the bag.
Oh, we didn't think this through, did we?
We did not. We got very excited and then came upstairs.
Ray is drunk.
I am not, but irrelevant at this point. So I'm going to. Is the box like out?
Mm-hmm. The book is out.
Oh, the book is out.
Yeah.
The book is still in the box. The box is out. The book is still in the box.
But now I'm looking for the letter, so it's okay if I kind of dig through the box a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
Or, yeah, I'm going to get the book out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very beautiful book. Maybe we should put the bag.
Right by her pillow.
That seems a little cruel.
A little bit.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
I think she'll be okay.
Leave it open.
Oh. Okay.
Put it on the other side. That way she'll roll into bed and see it and be like, ah!
I mean, maybe it can be like mostly closed.
Okay, all right. Whatever you say.
I think that'll be enough.
Okay.
I think just being in the bed with it will freak her out.
Perfect. Now what are we doing with the book again?
I don't know. I think we should take it down and have story time in the tavern.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
Okay, let's go. We'll take the book downstairs.
Before you walk out, he kind of... Before you leave the room, he reaches out and kind of grabs you by the elbow. Leona.
Yes.
You look beautiful tonight. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, you look very handsome yourself. Thank you. I did that in the wrong order, but you know what I'm saying.
Are you all right? Are you doing all right?
Mm-hmm.
Does he believe you?
I mean, 24.
Whatever, he beat it.
Okay, I mean, I'm pretty genuine. There's a little bit of like, but for the most part, she thinks she's doing okay.
Okay. You know I'm here for you.
I know.
Okay.
Do you know I'm here for you, right? Are you okay?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Aside from the way I still get nervous when I talk to you, yes, I'm all right.
Well, you should. I don't know why you get nervous.
You don't have any
Very
guesses?
eloquent.
You don't have any guesses at all why I get nervous?
I have a few guesses. It's not necessary. So you can stop.
Well, let me just calm my racing heart, and then I'll be ready to go. You know, you look very lovely tonight. I already said that. Let's go. Come on.
Okay. We take the book downstairs. Is there a stage? I will take a chair up to the stage.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Can I have your attention, please?
What?
I have a story that I would like to share with you all tonight. It has pictures. I don't really care. It doesn't need to have pictures. It does need to have pictures. Dang nabbit, why didn't I take that? Dang cantrip. I will sit down and I will open. I will, like a story time. My Pally and me.
That's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
God. So good.
With that beautiful image, that is where we will call it for tonight.
Gosh.
That is what happened when we have downtime.
Shenanigans.
Do we want to like summarize the downtime now so we can like start at like the end of it next time, or do we want to do that?
I got you.
Okay. I figured you had a plan.
I always have a plan.
She's the
Then
dungeon
we
master.
ruin it. Yes.
Just kidding, I never have plans because you guys ruin them all.
Yeah.
We're so good at life, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was a great session tonight, guys.
It was
So
wonderful.
fun. Thank you, Camille.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. We will see you next
God, my arm is stuck.
week. Same time, same place. And remember, if you become a patron between now and like 10 o'clock tomorrow night, you get
Devin, you confused all of us with that.
I was trying to say 24 hours with my fingers, but then she said 10 o'clock, and I was like, oh, wait, that is whatever.
24. You get stickers. Oh, look, Minnie's got it too.
Yes.
Max is so excited.
Even Max is excited.
Come here, baby. Come here. Max is very excited for you guys to be
Yay, good baby.
patrons.
He's a good boy.
He's a very good boy.
He really wants you to be a patron. Look at this. Look at this face. This face really wants you to be a patron.
The good face. It's the best face.
He's
Yeah.
like, Mom, I have no idea what's going on.
Stream dog.
Stream dog.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to sign off. Let's go and start with Kestra.
Cool. My name is Kate. You can find me on Twitter and everywhere important at Very Pale Ale. I am both white and bitter. And I play Kestra, who, yes. Yes.
What are we saying yes to?
I don't, just Kestra.
You're right.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. Yes.
I'm Mindy. You can find me on Twitter at MKY1713.
Woo.
I played Leona.
Yeah.
I'm Nevin. I play Moldy. Trying to get faster every time.
I am Kate. You can find me on Twitter at KatesD8s. You can find me on Twitch and Discord at KatesandD8s. And I play Deirdre. Woo.
My name's Joe. I'm only 3 sheets to the wind. And I play Marshall.
And my name's Camille.
Mhm.
I am the Dungeon Master. I never forget to pull up the end credits. Ever.
Never.
Oh.
Never. Not
It's been a really
once.
long time. You've been doing
That's-
really, really good with that.
Yeah, you really have.
I
been.
also never forget to unmute or mute you guys.
I had been doing really, really well with that.
I played everyone else tonight, aka
Woo woo!
Sentinel and Ray, and that's about it tonight.
Forest
Fine.
Sparrow.
And Amy.
And Amy. Fuck is Amy.
And the Pegasus.
And the Pegasus, Larisine,
And the barmaid.
and the barmaid. All right, guys. All right. So
And
you can stop it. You can find us on Twitter at Open4Adventure. You can also find us on Patreon at Open4FOR Adventure. You can become a patron and get access to a lore leak that I'm posting tonight. I'm posting one tonight. It's only $1 to get into lore leaks, right? It's $1, and you can get access to the lore tonight. Yes.
Woo!
And yes, that's it. Thank you, very, very special thank you. Oh wait. We have 2 patrons who qualify for the Warm Fuzzies, guys.
Oh,
Yes.
that warm fuzzy.
Warm fuzzy
So,
pigeon.
warm
this
fuzzies are my
stream
favorite.
was made possible by our patron Belle Chavez
Stop.
Fuzzy only.
and our patron Christopher J.
Yeah. Go
Thank
Chris.
you guys so much. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. You're gonna have to teach me for this.
All the warm fuzzies for you.
All the warm
So
fuzzies
many.
for you. All right, you guys, we are going to go ahead and sign off. We will be on Discord after this if you want to come hang out with us. Well, at least I will be. While I write up my lore leak. I will be taking requests for
What is
lore
Lore
leaks
Leak
tonight.
about?
Anything, I will go into detail on more lore of anything that happened tonight. And so I'm taking requests from my
That's
players. I'm
amazing.
taking requests from the Discord patrons. I'm taking or Discord people, from the patrons. Anybody who wants to be like, hey, I want to learn more about this thing you talked about tonight. I'd be like, okay, or maybe not.
You're very animated.
I'm excited. We have patrons.
Oh, Chris's blue hoodie.
He is Blue Hoodie.
on yes, so thanks, blue hoodie.
Thanks, Blue Hoodie.
And I am gonna roll those fucking credits, y'all. Are you guys ready to say goodbye?
Roll those fucking credits.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.